Hey kids, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am Amanda. Today's video comes by request from the one and only Nat Lopez. He sent me this request via Twitter, and he wanted me to talk about dialogue tags and how to show emotion using body language. I'm actually going to be including this video in the How to Write Like an Actor series, because it kind of ties into what I was talking about last week with conveying internal dialogue with an external dialogue. So I just feel like, it's meant to be. Using dialogue tags can help your readers differentiate between who is speaking and who is not. This especially works well in a scene where there are more than two people. Typically, if it's a scene with just two people, you can pretty much derive who is speaking when. There's all sorts of other tricks that you can use too by using identifiers within the actual dialogue, but that'll be another video. For now, we're going to focus on the actual dialogue tags, aka he said, she said, they said, etc., and expressing emotions using just your physical body. There was a time where you heard a lot of writers say said is dead, that using said too often was repetitive and that readers didn't like it. These days, however, more and more writers are saying that said is an invisible word. It's a great tag to use because it's just a word that people expect to be there anyway, so they don't even glance over it. It's very easy to read, in other words. I am kind of the opinion of somewhere in the middle. I have a personal preference for not liking to be repetitive in my words. So if I use said in one dialogue tag, the next dialogue tag that I use, if I use one, will be either replied, answered. Now, doing this too often, using words, using dialogue tags like he mumbled, he snarled, he whimpered, that can be a little too much. So it's just about finding that right balance. Personally, I use said a lot more often than I'll use other words. And this is what you should do because it is an invisible word, and it is a word that readers just gloss over. They don't even really read it, and it's very easy to just continue on with the story. Using dialogue tags can also help you place action within a scene where there's dialogue. So if one of your dialogue lines is, "I didn't say that," he said as he moved across the room, coming to stand toe-to-toe with her. Just by that sentence, you can kind of get that maybe he's a little bit angry about whatever it is that she said, he said. I don't know, I just made that example up on the fly. But you can kind of get the tone of anger, maybe maybe a little bit of offense was taken. And it also gives a little bit of body language with him moving across the room and getting, toe-to-toe with her, just right up in her face. But if you want to take it a step further, body language is a great tool to utilize. So, and this is a lot of self-awareness and a lot of people study. So if you watch people in day-to-day life, or even if you're watching a film, that's actually a great exercise to just put on a film, any film will do, and pay close attention, preferably a film you've seen so that you're not like watching for the story. Pay close attention to the body language that the actors are using. For example, in a fight scene, a verbal fight scene, not a physical fight scene, a verbal fight scene, how someone gets angry is really dependent on the person. It really is. So you want to pay attention to what does this person do with their physical body when they get angry. Some of the things that people do when they get angry with their physical body would be like clenching their jaw, maybe clenching their fists at their sides. Maybe you can see a visible tension come up in their shoulders. They cross their arms over their chest, and that not only indicates possible anger, but also they're closing themselves off from the other person. So, if you're aware of this, and you're aware of the different types of body language that a human is capable of, then you can use that to your advantage to convey emotion without putting in an exclamation point or using that dialogue tag, he snarled. You can just say he said, and then have him crossing his arms, maybe knitting his brows or furrowing his brows, or staring that person dead in the face, narrowing their eyes. Some people might argue that it's much easier to use the one word snarled than to have, all this description about body language. I mean, I can see the point, but it's not dialogue, so you can go as descriptive as you want. When you hear people say show, not tell, this is exactly what they're talking about. They don't want to hear that he snarled. Your readers don't want to read that he snarled. They're going to respond a lot more if you convey your character's physical reactions rather than if you just say he snarled. So here's a question, and you guys can actually leave your answers down in the comments below because I would be really interested. It's kind of a little experiment. I've tried it with myself, and I have found that I do this, but I'm wondering if maybe other people do it as well. So whenever you guys are reading a book, let's go ahead and just keep going with the fight scene example. If a character in a novel clenches their fists or clenches their jaw, do you guys ever find yourself doing the same thing? Because you're feeling this character's emotion. When you see somebody clench their jaw, what's the first thing you think? You think, oh shit, they're pissed. So that's how using body language can come into play. It's the show, not tell. You're really expressing emotion in subtle ways using body language without coming right out and saying they're angry. So how does one do this? How does one even identify different types of body languages? Again, you can pay attention to yourself just throughout the day. Pay attention to the things that you do with your physical body. Do you tend to pick at your nails when you're feeling a certain way? Do you tend to bite on your lip when you're feeling frustrated or when you're nervous? Do you clench your jaw when you get angry? Do you clench your fist? Do you clench your asshole? I mean, just little things like this that you just, little subtle details within yourself that you pay attention to. Some people may forget to do this throughout the day. I am one of those people. I've gotten better at it over the years. Another thing you could do is pay attention to other people. We're in the middle of shopping season right now. This is where you see people's emotions come out. So this would be a great opportunity for you to people watch and just really pay attention to body language. Another thing you could do, if neither one of the first two are an option, you can, like I said, put on a film, preferably a film that you have seen. A film that you've seen many times would be ideal, but even if you've just seen it once, a film that you've seen so that you're not paying attention to story, pay attention to tone of voice, pay attention to body language. Because if you're paying attention to tone of voice, you're more than likely going to be able to identify the emotion. And then as soon as you identify the emotion, pay attention to what they're doing with their body. The different things. Sometimes, if you're getting angry, some people squint. Some people narrow their eyes. Some people furrow their brows. Some people, like I said, have a physical tension that you can see either build in their shoulders or clenching their fists or clenching their jaw or looking away. Different details, little details. That's what you're looking for, because even the littlest of details, even just one, can convey an emotion like that rather than saying he snarled. And that goes back to show, don't tell. So that's all I got for you today, kids. Those are my thoughts on conveying emotion using body language and dialogue tags. Thank you so much once again to my critique partner, Nat Lopez, for this really great request. If you guys have any requests or you'd like me to talk about something in one of my next videos, you can tweet me at @theAmandaWilmot. If you enjoyed the content today, please remember to give me a like and hit that subscribe button. Ding that little bell so that you get notifications every time I post a video. I post every Wednesday and Friday. Be sure to follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. All that info will be down below in the description box. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and I will see you next time.